How's it going? Welcome to another video, and indeed one that's attempting to snow. Oh. It's attempting to snow, and it's cold enough for it to fully snow, but it's just teasing. That's what it's doing. It's just teasing. I've headed west, not far, to a little place called Cumbernauld, which is just over there. I'm doing aerial shots for a new BBC Scotland programme, and Cumbernauld is one of the places that require some aerial shots. Well, like any good drone pilot, you need somewhere to take off and land. And BBC Scotland were trying to get in touch with these guys, which is the Model Flyers Club. And they've got a bit of land and, you know, a nice space and tables and things for the models and that to take off. But we can't get hold of them, so I've just abandoned the truck and realised that it's completely abandoned. Well, I don't think it's completely abandoned. They probably still use it, but there's just nobody using it just now. Cumbernauld here was once described as the Lego fantasy of an unhappy child, which yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those places where it's full of squint cameras. That's what it's full of. It was built in 1956. It was an experiment, basically, just to see if basically an experiment in urban planning. You know, an overspill to Glasgow, basically, a town that would fill up and be utilised in kind of one of those suburban jungles, I guess, if you want, for a better term. Channel 4 used to do a TV programme called Demolition, and you know, where you would vote for places to get levelled, and actually the people of Cumbernauld voted for it to be levelled.
Hundreds of you highlighted the problems of Cumbernauld town centre and called for the megastructure to be torn down. Last year, we flew in a posse of architects, planners and developers to come up with a new vision. But their approach wasn't what the people had asked for, as our quick-witted demolition troubleshooter spotted.
What they asked for was, please demolish our town centre.
No,
and you're not demolishing it. The D word is something that you are finding very, very hard.
We're proposing to demolish a large amount of it, but the main point of their plea is that they've got a really crap town centre. And the point of this is to show that you could, out of some of what they've got, produce some real decent places.
Not a lot of people really like it, but I think it's more because of its sprawling concrete. I remember growing up in Livingston, which was much the same. It was an expansion out of Edinburgh, and you had this sort of brutalist cement style architecture right in the middle, and then all the streets and everything kind of peeled off of it. You had your shopping centre, and Cumbernauld not any different, because that's what I was shooting there. That's pretty much the middle of it all, and then there's all these mad places that kind of peel off. I mean, it's surrounded by parks. It's got parks, and I mean, I'm up on the hill. You know, so I mean, it has those things, but imagine nominating your own town for obliteration. I think when students are learning architecture and town planning and things like this, they're brought here to Cumbernauld to show them what not to do. But, you know, so in the facts that I'm giving you, you can see it's been quite divisive over the years. Anyway, I should really get going. Right, well, I've arrived in Lanark, and well, it's snowing. So yeah. Anyway, Lanark, quite the historic town. It was given its status, well, its royal charter, I guess, by David I. So in the 12th century. And prior to that, it was the home of the first Scottish Parliament, which is quite interesting because not a lot of people know that the Parliament in Scotland was once before. It's not always been a union, and Scotland was very much standing on its own for a very long time until lords and ladies and noblemen and people with money decided that the better way to fleece the people of all the kingdoms would be to unite them. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. There's also St Nicholas's Church. It's here as well. Not that I'm a forgoer of churches and the likes, but it is led to believe, though, that St Nicholas's, the bells inside that church are the oldest ringing bells in the world. I'm not entirely too sure who knew that or how you would find that out. Anyway, the direction that I'm facing is Lanark's behind me, and basically I want to just put the drone up behind me on the grass. I've got permission to be here from the people who look after this park, and they've said, yeah, it's fine, no worries. So if anybody challenges me, at least I've got a name and an email and a number and such, and say, ha, take that, complainer. And then I'm just going to go straight up and just kind of get views of Lanark behind me, because it's quite a striking looking town, albeit it's not obvious that it's Lanark from the air. It doesn't have anything that kind of separates it from the rest unless you knew where it was geographically. But I was just sitting in the car waiting for the snow to stop. It is still a bit windy, but at least it's not snowing anymore, which is great. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm in Perthshire. I know the last time you saw me I was on my way home from Lanark, and I had been in Cumbernauld as well, but I've gone further north. I'm doing the same programme. I'm just filming at a different place. I'm filming back in a town called Aberfeldy, which is about 10 miles back that way. I'm having a bit of a... what am I having? I'm having a nostalgic moment, that's what I'm having. Yeah, I used to kick about this part of the world when I was younger, and I just drove further along the road because, well, you know, it reminded me of when I was young. It's a very barren part of the world, but I like it. I don't know what it is about it that I like. I like the trees and the hills, and you know, there's big mountains around us. These guys over here are covered in snow, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to stop someone and throw the drone up. I'm not supposed to be putting the drone up here for the TV programme because I'm supposed to be filming the town. But I don't get up here very often, and it's money in the bank as far as I'm concerned. Getting aerial shots, landscapes of this part of the world. Anyway, let me show you Schiehallion. I'd love to give you some stats on the on Schiehallion, but I don't have any signal up here because we're currently at 1,100 meters above sea level. No, 1,100 feet above sea level. So we're quite high up, and it is absolutely Baltic. I'd had to land the drone there as well. Not only is it getting quite cold up here, but there was a chopper come in pretty hard and fast, so just getting out of his way. The last thing I want to do is cause a aviation incident in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, I should probably crack on. I need to head back down to Aberfeldy and film there. The very good people in the Church of Scotland have given me permission to fly from their car park, so that's quite nice of them. It's very Christian of them. Anyway, I'll crack on. I'll speak to you shortly. Well, this is River Tay. The village I'm in is called Grantley. I'm just a little bit up here, a couple hundred metres. There's some class 5 rapids that they use for the, I want to say international kayaking championships, but it might just be UK. But yeah, there's some wicked rapids that's up there. And in fact, this area I'm standing on, this is the egress point. If you ever come up here on holiday, which I highly recommend that you do, if you go up to Loch Tay, up to Kenmore, Kenmore is where Loch Tay is, and the mouth of the River Tay is there. And there's a place up there, a water sports centre, and you can get river rafting, and you come all the way down. I can't remember how long that is, but that's a good couple. It must be at least 10 miles of river. Anyway, it's been a nice couple of days, been out and about. Nice to kind of get out and about again after lockdown, doing a bit of filming. It's nice to come back up here. Incidentally, Schiehallion is 3,555 feet high, so pretty high, and a Munro as well. And interestingly enough, it was apparently used in the 1770s, or maybe it wasn't used, although we're going to use it, as a point to weigh the mass of the world. I'll need to look it up. It's quite an interesting read, or I'll maybe do a video on it because it might be kind of cool. But anyway, the TV programme I'm working on BBC Scotland is about towns in Scotland that probably once had an affluent past and quite busy industry and tourism and the likes, but the modern world's changed them all, and it's quite a sad programme in fairness. Well, it's a quite an interesting programme, but it's quite sad that's what's happened, because I mean, obviously I remember Aberfeldy especially being quite a hive of activity. I mean, there's a big high school there, and there's a Birks of Aberfeldy, which is a walkway and made famous by a poem that Rabbie Burns wrote, and there's a huge history dating right the way back to the Romans. Allegedly Pontius Pilate's brother stayed near Aberfeldy in a place called Ween. And General Wade also stayed there as well. There's an old coaching inn there that's being renovated that I've stayed in before. In fact, my mum's 40th birthday was in there. But it's huge with history, dating as far back as the Romans. I'll catch you all on the next one, and obviously I'll let you know when this programme comes out for those of you that are interested. My Landmark Towns, I think it's called. Yeah, I'll have to update you on that one. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, goodbye from a sunny yet very cold River Tay in Grantully. And I will see you all on the next video, whatever that may be, because we know I'm not nearly that prepared. See you later.